Well, it's been a long time, but Godmaster, and by extension all of Hollow Knight, is finally getting finished today. However, before I get into the final Pantheon and all of the incredible sights, sounds, and other treats that await me there are a couple more things to check out. A couple like little side quests or NPCs to talk to that I didn't really get to in the previous parts because I wanted it to be all about checking out the Pantheons, new bosses, new content, everything like that. This one was actually supposed to go in the first part of Godmaster, where you go above the junk pit up into the Nail Master's hut area of the City of Tears. But I decided to cut it out. I think I even said so in the video, just to, keep the pacing a little bit better. Yeah, I know, you're probably really interested. Hey, what's going to happen to all the Fluke folk now that the matron is dead? No, you weren't wondering that? Well, the Fluke Hermit has an answer, and also an incredibly irritating voice. Yeah, I know, of all the various questions proposed by this game, maybe this wasn't the most essential one, but hey, it's definitely here. And then after you wake up the Godseeker, you can also find the Fluke Hermit. Reasonably terrified of it, I would say. All right, then. You might remember the Delicate Flower quest from the Grey Mourner all the way in the graveyard. Well, you can now get new Delicate Flowers to haul all over the world to two NPCs now, aside from the Elder Bug in town. Oro being one of them. Yes, going from the western part of the map all the way to the eastern part of the map without getting hit once. It was a lot of fun. Certainly. Definitely not difficult at all. I don't think you can actually take it back after you throw it on the ground. Well, I mean, slide it. That was a cute animation. Not that I really tried to anyway. I mean, come on. And then if you go back inside the house, you can see the flower in a little pot in the background. It's nice to know that Oro, even under his hardened exterior, does have a caring heart. Oh, there's the Nail Master if you're wondering what happened to him. Because canonically, he did die in this playthrough. And of course, who else would you be giving a flower to other than the Godseeker? I love just the dainty little grass being inside the gigantic claw there. Oh, you Godseeker. You can also offer the flower to the Eternal Emelita, or whatever her name was, and the Pale Lady, but they will refuse it, unfortunately. Apparently there is something special about that flower, but I don't know. One of a kind, as you know. Except for all the other ones. This is a random event that happens sometimes when you're trying to enter the God Home. Instead, you go in here. I actually was not even trying to get this. It just happened to happen when I was recording. A little bit of lore related to the Godseeker and what their deal is.
Nada Biscallah.
So I'm picking up at the last safe spot that I ended up at in the previous video, just because otherwise it would be literally a half hour of watching me go through all of this again. Alright, the final stretch. Last few of the toughest bosses in the game right before the two new bosses, and then the final ending. Although I already have that thankfully recorded, so if anything goes wrong, well, I got something to fall back on. But I did want to get a little bit of a, I don't know, live commentary flavor to this video rather than having it be all post-commentary. Alright, number one thing, want these two just for the Nightmare King Grim fight. It's very hard to land hits in on him, but pretty easy to dash through him, so that's simple. And then the strategy that I came up for dealing with Markoth, because that was kind of the biggest boss, the biggest issue that I was having in the previous couple times I'm doing this, is just to have deep focus and then be able to tank my way through everything. I'm gonna admit right now, tanking your way through stuff, one of the very first things that I said when starting up this series still remains true even to the bitter, bitter end of this game. Alright, Soul Tyrant shouldn't be too difficult, although I can screw it up pretty badly. Really, it's just this is more of a fight that takes a while to do than is anything very difficult. Soul Tyrant is always a fight that I think is... Yeah. There you go, and that's how you can nail him with at least a few hits there. Yeah, you're supposed to do it like magic battle type of thing, but if you don't, you can still get in a lot of hits. You just gotta be very quick about it. It sure is going to be nice to finally... there we go. Finally be done with this series. And I do hope that I am able to actually get a proper win here, because there is technically a second ending for me to get, although really I do doubt that. I really don't think that it's actually worth it in any way. Oh, come on. I should have gotten at least one more hit there. Really don't think it's actually worth getting it anyway. It's just literally like one more second to see. Got it. That's hard not to get hit there by the boxcar, but you know. You do have to jump even if you are using a Shadow Dash to be able to get a hit in on there. Man, it's... you know, I said before that it's just like some of the hardest bosses in the game just reduced to stepping stones on the way to getting in, to getting to the true ending and the true final boss of the game. The fact that Nightmare King Grim is just... I had people tell me at one point in time that it's just like, yeah, even more difficult than the Radiance and everything. And now he's just, yeah, regular enemy. Alright, there we go. Shadow Dash definitely makes it easy to get out of here unless he decides to do the fake out. Because he can clear his entire fall very, very easy. And... this is when Fast Slash would actually be pretty useful, and also me not getting hit. Because I want to have as much stuff from Markoth as possible. Still think he's one of the worst fights in the game. Oh, come on! Just sit back and relax, and try not to screw this up too hard. Wow. Yeah, it definitely seems like it would be fairly easy to... You know what, screw this then. Gives you plenty of time to heal. Would be very easy to do this like on Radiant difficulty or whatever. All you need is just like a good range weapon, maybe like a spell-based build, and... Get in the pit where you belong. Good spell-based build, and then it's like... Really, Grubberfly's Elegy. That's all you need. That's all you need to be able to beat this. And I do think that when it comes to Radiant, or Radiant level difficulty on the boss refights, like that seems to be the way to go. Alright, come on. Can I get a couple more hits in here? That is health reduced in one of the updates. It's just, it's not, clearly not reduced that much. Alright, fine. I mean, I was thinking about going for a spell there, but then I was also thinking that I don't want to die. Come on, a couple hits. A couple pot shots here while he's making it easy. He's just lazily floating around. And the other thing is that this is a save file that I killed Zote in, so he ain't gonna be doing anything this time. He ain't gonna be screwing up this run once more, like he generally loves to do. And... oh, I hate this fight! Again, just lazily floating around, making sure that at one point he's going to get in your way. And there we go. See, deep focus. It's a good idea. I just want to go for a couple shadow dashes here, but Sharp Shadow is surprisingly effective against many, many bosses, which is why it's become a standard in a lot of the fights that I was doing. There we go. There we go. Good enough. Good enough. I say good enough. Hopefully I can at least get one heal here. I think I got it. Good. And this would be a really good time to have quick slash on, but thankfully Fail Champion is surprisingly easy. Going again with the theme of bosses that used to be so... wow, that was actually super close. Bosses that used to be super difficult, now being nothing but a G thing. Yeah, you think that it's like, without the ability to get Soul back in this fight, then it might be kind of rough. Come on, really? Then it might be kind of rough, but you can pretty much always get at least 2 Dream Nail usages on him when he's stunned. So, all you gotta do is when he moves back, he's using a Shockwave. When he moves forward, he's attacking. And should be about the point where... yeah, I was thinking that I was about to get him down again. So 1, 2, try to do any more than that, and he will, of course, get right back up, which was frustrating. The other thing is that even after he dies, he can continue Dream Nailing his shell for extra soul gain, meaning at... well, that was stupid of me. Meaning that at the very end of the battle, you can still get full soul, even though he's technically dead. 2, maybe just heal 1 here, and then... I guess you're absorbing soul from the shell? Ah, whatever. It makes a certain amount of sense. I mean, that was... what was his name? Hegemol? Hegemol? Alright. Come on. Don't screw this one up. And then just dash forward. Didn't even get to it. Man, used to think that move was so annoying to deal with, and then I realized, like, nah, that actually leaves a lot of opportunities for healing. One of the hardest bosses in the game. That was a little close. One of the hardest boss in the game, just reduced to, yeah. Beat him taking double damage, no problem. Hadn't done the Radiant. It's like, nah, and I'm probably not going to be doing the Radiants just because, or the Radiant refights, just because they are so very rough to deal with. And there we go. Oh, come on, I had that. Okay, come on. Don't freak out too bad right now. 2, 3, 4. Oh, cool. Hopefully can get a couple heals here. There we go. That's good. I mean, you usually can get at least 1, then it depends on what he's going to be doing next. 1, 2, 3, 4. Double hit. I do like that move you can counter pretty well just by standing still. 2 hits in there if you are fast enough, and 1 hit if you're not. Oh, come on, stop! Ugh. Throwing stuff on the bottom floor way too many times there. That, similarly, if he's close enough, he can get 2 hits. And if he's not, then... ugh. And there's a reason why I wanted to do this, mostly post-commentary, I'm just realizing right now. And kind of rethinking my decision as I made it. Oh well, it's fine. I'm actually doing just totally cool here. Well, we'll see kind of how it goes for the last two fights in the game, though, because those are when you are made or broken because you have to play the entire thing for like a full hour again. I mean, okay, so it's like 40 minutes, but still, it feels like an hour each time. 4. I do like that that in his OG version, that's actually even harder to dodge, to go for the bat shoot. Bat shot? Sure. Loads up his gun full of bats and shoots them out at you. It's actually a little interesting because the original, nice, the older version of his fight, it's pretty easy to get some dream mail action in, you know, when he's doing his bow to you, and you get to learn that apparently he's totally cool with this whole ritual and everything. He's a big fan of the God Seeker. I guess like maybe most of these gods are, because you would think that he's kind of the closest thing to a proper god aside from the Radiants and maybe the Pale King in the entire game. So I thought he would be more upset for being like summoned for a ritual, but no, he loves it. I told you, it's all about just cheesing it out as much as possible. And I got a powerful nail, and everything else here is just to be able to heal as much as possible. It's dumb, but that's what got me through winning this the first time. Let's see if it'll do it. Let's see if lightning will strike twice. Oh, but first, yep. Here's what here's the Pale Palace, or is it the White Palace? I don't remember. With all the furniture draped over here and everything. Mm-hmm. How bright it must have been. Yep, so bright that it apparently hurt the eyes of anybody that looked upon him. Of course, given what the God Seeker looks like right now, you know, in the real world, of course she'd feel that way. All right, not the most ideal setup to be fighting this dude, but it's not bad either. Like, you can swing this against the Pure Vessel, you just gotta be a little bit careful. Go for, like, just single hits, and then like that. Just like one hit and run. One hit and run. Oh. And again, it's like me definitely kind of regretting maybe wanting to do this live commentary. I should have just called it a day and went post after this. No healing in this battle, but this sort of setup that I got gives me ample healing for the upcoming one. Also very close. Oh well, the later various parts of this fight make it a lot. This is another one where Shadow Dash actually very good, but the later parts of this fight definitely make it a little bit easier to get hits in on the Pure Vessel. A fun fight, but it's kind of. I always thought that, you know, like the way that the vessels. Come on, really. It's weird because I always thought that the way the vessels worked was that they were all just, you know, the little tiny buggins, like the player character. But I mean, I guess, like, the entire description of the Pure Vessel is that it is a fully matured vessel. So I guess, like, every other vessel you fight is a child? I don't know, it's strange. Anyway, this is the one good time that you have to heal. Oh, come on. I was doing fine there. Well, oh no. That's fine, though. Less fine. Okay, and now just run away from him. I tried. Yep. And you always want to be running away when you stick with that. This time I actually have the ability to hit him. Yeah, you just want to be running away when you're trying to heal, just because he will otherwise definitely do a lot of damage to you. He loves it. Big fan. Kind of surprised he's not using this tentacle attack yet. Wow, really? Now this is gonna suck. And it actually didn't suck too bad. Okay, it's sucking a little. Oh, I hate you. Okay, come on. Give me ample time to heal. Alright. I can't believe I didn't get hit there. Cool. There's got to be like 1 or 2 more hits left here. I hate you so much. There! Ha! Well, no, I actually don't need to do that. You get healed after this. Oh, man, what a fight. Hopefully this one's going to be easier. I don't know. I haven't really tried doing commentary, and you always play worse when you're doing commentary is the problem. I mean, of course, who else would? The true and proper God. Absolute Radiance. Let's go! So very many fights against you. Yep. So very many fights against you, and it's all paying off here, I guess. I don't know, we'll see. It took a while to learn Absolute Radiance. And really, it's like this wasn't the best setup that I had, like the best charm setup or anything. But it's like, you know what? It's the most consistent for letting me not get absolutely moidalized all the time. It's like the best setup is, of course, just getting a whole ton of spell damage. Well, actually like a quick slash because of one of the later phases. Otherwise, it's mostly the exact same as just... Oh, come on, I was fine there. It's mostly the exact same as a regular Radiance fight, except a lot faster. So, you know, that's, the original Radiance fight was pretty difficult, but I would have liked to have seen a little bit more... Oh, come on. Would have liked to have seen a little bit more of a difference between this one and the... And, you know, like, changing it up a little bit. Because Pure Vessel, for example, very similar, also very... but also very different in its own way. Alright. Now, dump everything, because this is another phase transition. God, I hope I don't die here. That would be very embarrassing. So you can walk behind these tentacles. Alright, anyway. Just 1 second, 1 second. Hold off darkness. And I did get full heal. And... oh, that was actually very fortuitous. And yes, much like I was talking about, the easiest way to do this fight is to just lame it out like crazy. So I'm just going to be sitting in one singular location, waiting for opportune times to attack. Like I knew this. I mean, the thing is, you might say it's like, well, this is lame. Yeah, but you know what? It's pretty consistent as far as winning goes. Best way to do this is actually just to tank it through with a quick slash, but couldn't quite set that up with the amount, with the sort of healing methodology that I was doing. Nope. Well, that was frustrating. Oh, there we go. Come on, big money. Oh, good, and we're at the next phase already. This one just destroys me. I don't know what it is about this phase, but like I cannot, for whatever reason, like, not get hit a million times here, usually. I mean, sometimes I can, but there are also plenty of times where I've just lost entirely because, yeah. Now, come on. Other times where I've just lost entirely because, like, I just kept freaking getting hit during that particular phase. The final and new phase to this thing. Fairly simple. Actually used to be a lot more difficult in one of the previous patches. Not nearly as bad now. You can see my strategy. Okay. You can see my strategy pretty clearly here. Cool. And there we go. Hooray, I get to show both endings. So, as it turns out that maybe taking a fragment of the void and attuning it to the gods, as they said themselves, they merely grasp at the greatness of what gods are, was a bad idea, giving the void not only purpose, but also a mind, now a form as the god of gods. Well, I guess the Hollow Knight is okay after Radiance died. Weird. Anyway, so in the hall here, after you beat every single one of the bosses on at least a Toon difficulty, it opens up this extra little statue area where you get the entry for the Void Idol and also a statue of the Knight. And the Void Idol and the Knight will change based on if you've beaten all the bosses on Attuned, Ascended, and then Radiant difficulty, becoming, let's just say, different. Not something that I'm willing to do. And this is the area where they keep the Radiant statue, which, boy, I've loved seeing that a million different times. And also, if you beat Radiance in this area, you get a little tiny cutscene, essentially just the Godseeker saying, "Hey, good job, idiot, but you gotta go beat her in the Pantheon, not here." But we were really impressed. Anyway, and then there is also another alternate ending here that you can get if you haven't given her the delicate flower. So, you're going to be showing that one off, and that'll be it.